Hello dear World of Warcraft friends, right now, thanks to the new patch 12.1 campaign, a revelation that overturns much of what we thought we knew about the ancestry of the races in World of Warcraft. And something that doesn't exactly please some World of Warcraft fans. This is about the Haranir. If you don't want to be spoiled, you should stop watching now. Otherwise, we'll take a look at what it's about, which fan theories are currently being discussed, and so on and so forth. Leave a like, subscribe if you don't want to miss any news, and with that, let's get started. As I said, this is about the 12.1 campaign, which has already started. You get it if your character has basically completed all the quests up to that point, so if you're up to date. That's why I don't have it here, for example, on my alt, but you do get it here. But here we have it, this quest, Hagar's Invitation from Orvina. It leads you into the Haranir caves, and to get to the crucial cutscene, you actually don't have to do much. Talk to a few people, then it triggers. It lasts about 3.5 minutes. And the aforementioned Hagar is this lady here, whom we see in the middle of the screen. She shows us a revelation that we hadn't seen coming until now. She tells us that in the end, because there is also this conflict here, trolls versus night elves or blood elves and so on. And here she ultimately tells us that in the past they were all once the same people. And accordingly, she says here, when Azeroth called out to them, some of the Haranir left everything behind and hid here underground, as she says, in the deepest corners of the world. But some Haranir stayed on the surface and changed over time. And from that, over the course of many millennia, on one side the Night Elves as we know them now emerged, and on the other side the Trolls, or rather Elves in general, developed from them. That means Blizzard has officially confirmed that Trolls and Elves all descend from the same people, namely the Haranir. And this whole thing, this entire debate about who descends from whom and so on and so forth has been going on for many years in the game. So we've already had the discussion before where it was said that night elves descend from trolls. Back in Classic, there was already a so-called troll compendium on the official website, which more or less confirmed that. Then in 2011, the second issue of the WoW magazine came out, where Bran also talked about the origin and ancestry of trolls and night elves. And after that, the chronicles came in, where it was said that an underground troll group living at Hyjal, the Dark Trolls, moved to the Well of Eternity. They were transformed by the energy there and then called themselves Kaldore, Children of the Stars, also known as the Night Elves. Accordingly, we knew that night elves are descended from trolls, and the whole thing is very closely connected. And now Blizzard is taking the whole story even further, namely that before trolls and night elves there were the Haranir. I want to be very transparent here. I'm not super deep into the lore like some others are, so this revelation doesn't really matter much to me. Or I don't really care about it. But all I can say is, a lot of people wrote that it upsets them that the story was retconned, meaning revised. Yeah, what can I say? Feel free to write your opinion about it in the comments. But what I did find is a very interesting graphic that someone put together that shows the complete family tree of the elves and trolls. In other words, at the very top are the Haranir trolls according to this source. From them, through evolution, came the proto-trolls or the first trolls, and through the influence of Azeroth, the trolls emerged. From these proto-trolls, as they are called here, evolved the Zandalari, blood trolls, sand trolls, Gurubashi, Amani, Drakari, and the dark trolls we just mentioned. Plus, here there's also a speculative connection, somehow including the Drakthir as well. Otherwise, we see here also speculated that the Drogba originated from the Dark Trolls, influenced by arcane magic. This part isn't speculative because it's in this pink color. The Kaldori originated from the Dark Trolls. We also know that at this point, and it goes on from there, right? Naga, Void Influence, Satyr, Fell Influence. Here we have the Illidari and the Demon Hunters who descend from the Kaldore. The Dark Fallen and the Undead Elves brought forth through Necromancy. Through Arcane Influence, this led to Crystal Satyr, the Shaldore, the Nightborn, and the Faldori. Otherwise, we also have the Kaldori here. So Kaldori, Blood Elves, High Elves, and Blood Elves. Druids of the Flame through elemental influence, and so on and so forth. Accordingly, you could now say that an incredibly large number of different races and peoples from all over World of Warcraft descend from a single ancestral people, namely the original Haranir. And yeah, like I said, my personal opinion, I don't really have strong feelings about it, but a lot of players just don't think it's that cool. Personally, I think, and this is just a guess, it's because they don't find the Haranir themselves as cool as maybe Blizzard does. But like I said, I can't say that for sure. I think everyone has their own reasons for it. So it's actually a pretty big lore topic that Blizzard has opened up with this quest line. So far you can play the first batch of quests. There are about 15 or 16 of them. And after that, this whole campaign continues with patch 12.1. So if you want to play the full campaign in patch 12.1, you need to complete this part now, since it's the first chapter. There are 3 more, and they will only be unlocked once you have completed this one. And yeah. Now it's your turn to share your opinion. What do you think about this big reveal that Blizzard has presented to us? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's nonsense? Do you think it fits into the game? Do you think it doesn't fit in at all? Every opinion is welcome, especially since, as I said, I'm not very familiar with the lore topic. I'm curious to see what you all come up with, and I'm looking forward to your replies. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video, and take care.